Hello everyone, this is me again, and this is week 10 of Law, Crime and Punishment. Today we begin the first part of 3 lectures on The Commonplace of Law, a book published in 1998 by Patricia Ewick and Susan Silby. As you surely recall, we read the introduction to this book for week 1 of the course. It was a story of Millie Simpson. For today, we read chapter 3 of the book titled The Social Construction of Legality. Notice that you were asked to read pages 33 to 53. However, it is a dense and pretty complicated text, so don't worry too much if you do not understand everything. Your main focus for now should be on pages 45 to 50, and specifically the 3 types of legal consciousness described in these pages. The main issue this book, and specifically this chapter, deal with is the interrelationship between agency and structure in the context of the law. Now this is a slide we already encountered in week 1, so this is basically just a quick reminder. Structure refers to the constraints placed on us from the quote-unquote outside. For instance, think of the imposed structure or constraints placed on you during your academic journey. The courses you have to take, the number of credits you need in order to obtain the degree, and of course the requirements of each and every specific course. So that is the structure of your academic journey. Agency, on the other hand, refers to your ability to navigate and even manipulate the structure. Your ability to have some independence and choice. For instance, think of your choice to take this summer course, or on a higher level, your choice to major in sociology or whatever you chose to major in. It is, if you will, a structured choice. You have a list of majors from which you have to choose from. A prime example of how agency and structure work hand in hand. Now, one of the arguments made in this chapter is that agency and structure are not separate entities or things, but rather work together and affect each other. Think a bit again about your choice to take this summer course. It was your own independent choice, and it is a choice that ultimately has an effect on the structure itself. For this course to have taken place, at least 12 students had to enroll in it. Now that more than 12 students enrolled in this course, it came into being, it's happening, and it became part and parcel of the online curriculum here at the University of Minnesota. And it will be offered to students in future years. Now it is part of the structure. Another great example in the chapter you read is the marine biology one on page 44. So please make sure that you pay close attention to this example and understand it. It's going to help you a lot during the next few weeks. Now the point of this book is to explore the relationship between agency and structure in the realm of the law. The authors use 2 terms that are key, so please make sure you understand them. Instead of structure, they use the term legality. Legality is a social structure, or the social structure in the realm of the law. And it refers to all these constraints and all the constraints that are imposed on us in terms of the law and legal issues. For instance, driving regulations are part of the structure. They are imposed on us from the quote-unquote outside. We have to obey them, or at least take them into account when we drive, when we're on the road. Otherwise, there will be very dire consequences. And instead of agency, the author used the term legal consciousness to refer to the quote, participation in the process of constructing legality, quote, unquote. Legal consciousness, that is our ability to maneuver within the confines of the law and legal regulations. It's our way of having independence in the realm of the law. The most important element of the author's theory, and the element that would be most relevant to your final podcast assignment, is the 3 types of legal consciousness described in pages 47 to 49. These 3 types should look familiar to you since we encountered them in week 1 and you wrote about them in your first reading journal. These are, of course, before the law, with the law, and against the law. We've briefly discussed these 3 forms of behavior and attitude in week 1, as I already stated, and it is also the focus of question 5 on your reading journal for the week. Again, these concepts are absolutely crucial for your ability to succeed in your final podcast assignment. So I encourage you to read and reread these pages, 47 to 49, and make sure that you thoroughly understand them. I will go over them, these 3 types of legal consciousness, in next week's lecture. In the meantime, I want to encourage you to revisit Millie's story in chapter 1 and make sure that you understand which type of legal consciousness belongs to each one of the 3 stories told in the chapter and why. Now, in short, before the law refers to Millie's initial conformity, her initial belief in the system, and her general obedience during that phase of her legal entanglement. With the law refers to Millie's subsequent realization that the system is not really, fair, not as logical and reasonable and rational as she thought it was. Thus, she utilizes her employer's legal knowledge and her employer's expensive attorney to try to alter the outcome of her case. Finally, against the law refers to Millie's attempts to manipulate the law to her advantage. For instance, her successful attempt at arranging that her community service be done at her own church. Please notice the subtle yet important and also somewhat confusing difference between with the law and against the law. Essentially, with the law refers to actions occurring within the system, while the latter, against the law, refers to battles and contests occurring from the quote-unquote outside. We will continue this conversation in next week's lecture, as I already stated. I hope that you enjoyed the reading for the week. I know that it is highly theoretical, abstract, and a bit confusing. Next week, we will focus on more concrete everyday stories that will help to clarify and make these terms and concepts a bit more concrete and tangible. Hope you have a wonderful, sunny, relaxing week. Bye-bye.